G'day peoples, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Flozan's fun, fabulous, freaking stuff. Yeah, it's always a interesting intro, isn't it? Okay, today I wanted to go through what's in my camera bag kind of thing. Now, I don't have a huge arrangement of drones or toys or anything like that. You know, like toys, I've got the cameras and stuff, obviously. But yeah, I don't have all that extra stuff that usually makes up a modern day kit. Really love to get a drone. Really love one of those DJI Mini 2s. That'd be the tits. But today we're going to go through some lenses, some audio stuff, some lights, some tripod, and chest-mounted apparatus that I've got going on that I haven't actually had a chance to use. Alright, so let's start off with, firstly, my primary camera is the A6400 from Sony. It's a fabulous little camera, APS-C style sensor, so it's a crop sensor, about 1.5 times crop from a 35mm format, which full frame 35mm format. So it is, which is 1.5 times crop off the 35mm full frame format, and with that you get decent enough sensor size to really blow out bokeh and you know, capture that. Okay, so we're going to take a look at some of the lenses that I use with the A6400. At the moment, the one you can't see is the Sigma 18-35 f1.8 EF mount art lens for basically video work and studio work and stuff like that. That's what I use it for. I have used it on a paid gig. Did an amazing job because of the 1.5 times crop. It's equivalent of a 27 to 52, I think, millimeter format. So working with what I just recently did with a formal style event, full body sized images, and then midway up, top up sort of crop shots and stuff of the head and shoulders and things like that. The 18-35 on the crop sensor did absolutely perfectly, and it's such an amazing lens. Only gripe I've got with it is a little heavy, a little cumbersome, and the body to the A6400 did get a little hard to hold towards the end of the night, but you struggle through. Alright, so with that said, that EF lens too that I've got on the Sigma art lens that we've got currently using at the moment for shooting this, it's on the MC11 EF to E mount adapter, which allows me to use full autofocus and in lens stabilization, and all the features like the recording information, stuff like that comes from the lens can be sent through the adapter, and it all works perfectly with the Sony A6400. Okay, so with that aside, let's go through some of the other lenses we've got. Start with this one, the 16mm f1.4 from Sigma. This is a great little contemporary lens from Sigma that is just so super sharp. It can capture amazing landscape scenes, architectural stuff, wide angle views when you want to get like as much in the shot as possible, so capturing the subject and the surroundings and things. It was my go-to lens for video, for basic use in and around the studio setup, or even when I'm out on the gimbal and stuff like that, just because it's so tack sharp and the autofocus is beautiful and everything, and it's nice and small, quite tidy and small, I guess you'd say. Feels solid though, like feels really good quality. Not weather sealed. Unfortunately, I don't think any of my lenses here today are weather sealed. Kind of a problem with APS-C kind of formats. You don't really get the weather sealing that you'd normally get on the full frame kick-ass equivalents. But yeah, this is an APS-C style lens, so crop sensor lens as well. What else we got here? Okay, this one I got with the camera, with the A6400. It is the 35mm from Sony, f1.8. OSS, this lens, so it's in-body stabilized. That's what I didn't mention. Sorry, the Sigma 16mm is not in-body stabilized, in-lens stabilized, so unfortunately you do get a bit of camera shake and stuff if you're using it handheld. Whereas this 35mm from Sony is stabilized, and it is a fantastic little lens for getting your video work on and stuff. It's just not as wide as what you'd like it to be to really capture most of the juicy pen shots and stuff like that. But for getting uptight, for portrait, for B-roll and stuff, yeah, this thing can work wonderfully, and it works really well on the gimbal because it's so small and compact. Next lens up we got is another EF mount lens. It's a Canon lens. Canon. Yeah, this is the 50mm f1.8 from Canon, the Nifty 50. It is quite a cheap lens. It was the cheapest lens that I bought back when I first started with my 600D. I think I paid $150 for it second hand, but it was brand new second hand. It's noisy, it's slow to focus, it's not the sharpest thing in the world, but it gets the job done, and it gives you that 75mm focal length equivalent sort of thing that you'd normally get on a 70mm full frame for something to keep in the bag. It's nice and small, goes with everything, goes with the MC11 adapter as well. Another one to go with the MC11 adapter is the 75-300 Canon EF. What do we got here? f4 to f5.6. Now this lens is basically something I acquired. It was left abandoned in a cupboard, and basically I got my hands on it and was like, well, it's mine now. It's not a real sharp lens. In fact, it's quite a cheap lens as well. Basically, I think it was bought as a replacement for a more expensive Tamron lens that my dad had that broke on him, and he never ended up basically getting around to using it. It just never made it out of the cupboard. But it does give me the telephoto reach that is most necessary sometimes when you're going shooting birds, or you're trying to stretch out across a field or something like that. So 75-300 on the 1.5 crop gives you a 450 max, which is quite a good amount of telephoto reach. And then we come to the last lens I've got here, the 18-105 Sony lens. Oh, there we are. Now this thing is just an amazing lens. 18-105 gives you equivalent of 27 to 150 something, 157. It has a power zoom feature. So this rocker switch we've got here allows for zooming in and out. You can also zoom via the ring on the body, but it's flow-by-wire sort of thing, so you don't get any direct field control, and it's all done internally. So notice the lens doesn't get any longer when I change the zoom. It doesn't get any longer, so it's all done internally. So does the Sigma 18-135. It's all done internally as well. Great for video work, these lenses. They don't shift gimbal movement and stuff, and you don't get barrel distortion when you're sort of zooming in and out, and you'd normally get compression, decompression of the lens as it oscillates the mirrors, the lenses between themselves and stuff, and you get pincushion to I can't remember the other one style lens distorting. It's an f4 lens, so fixed f4 aperture. It's a little dark, but it does get by most of the time. Anything in the day is fine. It's just when it gets down to the low light, nighttime stuff, it can be a bit difficult. But yeah, hell of a lens. That really stays on my camera pretty much all the time. 18-105 is a magnificent amount of focal range to work with, and it allows me to get vlogging style stuff done, as well as getting like telephoto reach for go across a road or up a tree or something like that, to capture just a bit more detail than what you'd normally get with a say 28 to 70 or yeah, 24 to 70 sort of thing. I know there's a 24 to 105 in the G Master range, and same in the Canon EF range. I've used, a mate of mine's got a 24 to 105 f4 from Canon. Great lens actually. On the MC11 adapter it was very fast and very accurate, and I got some great shots with it. Bokeh was incredible. 10 blade iris I think, so it does have a bit more of a nicer bokeh. This is a 7 blade iris I believe. This is the 18 to 105. Okay, some other stuff that we've got in the camera bag. Little light. Just use that for nighttime shot, or you know, whenever you're dropping down in light and stuff like that. I've got a little battery in there to power it. Microphone, little shotgun mic, very cheap. Got this off eBay for like 35 bucks or something. A bridge, it's a hot shoe, cold shoe, whatever style bridge, so that I can mount both the microphone and the light on top of the camera if I will. And what doesn't come out with me as much as what it started with when I first started using the Canon for video work and things like that. This is the, well, let me find the name on it here. The Saramonic SR-PAX1 with 2 paired shotgun microphones. They're balanced microphones. And basically, yeah, give you a look at that. So basically we've got volume adjustment knobs for left and right channel, and then we've got the ability to select the line in, mic with phantom preamp, and it has a little 9-volt battery here that it uses to boost up current so that it can get 48-volt phantom power to the microphones. This is an amazing little microphone set, but it weighs so much, and having it on top of the camera makes it very difficult to use for anything else other than basic sweeping shots, or like you know, following maybe some like doing live music or something like that. I've recorded a mate of mine doing some guitar work and singing. It did an amazing job of that, and much better than the little shotgun mic for getting the peaky highs and solid mids and bassiness. The guitar strum was very solid, very pure. These microphones are really good, but no distortion on them or anything. And because they're a balanced pair, you don't get any difference in the left and right signals from the left and right channels. Alright, and microfiber rag. Can't do without microfiber rag, just keeping things clean. This is the little chest-based apparatus that I've got going on here. This is using the HX90V, a camera that I am still planning to send over to Nepal, to a nice young fellow over there who basically won my camera giveaway. And basically between COVID and me being slack, it hasn't happened. But this is something I haven't yet to try. I bought like a little GoPro. It wasn't a GoPro, it was a Kogan. Kogan's an online appliance and electrical store that I've got over here in Australia, and basically they sell like their own branded version of the GoPro. It's got like dual screens on it. It's meant to be 4K 60 FPS actually, and yeah, it was $100, $100 Australian, so pretty cheap. And you know what, it was very cheap. The best image quality I could get out of it was turning it down to 1080p 30 frames and having the lens distortion calibration turned on, because the in-body stabilization was absolutely shocking. Turned everything to jello, and was, yeah, par unusable. The 4K footage didn't have the bit rate to save under, and the footage would break down, and that's without doing any coloring, any rendering or anything like that. Just watching the footage back, it would break down and pixelate and color break, and basically the color banding and stuff would show up on things that didn't have any, like, wasn't like lights like you're seeing out behind me at the moment and stuff like that, where you've got fade and things. It was just on a brick wall or something like that, you'd get banding and like breakdown of pixels and stuff like that. It just didn't have the bit rate to be able to record it. So what was going to be the chest mount, let me just show you how this works. Head goes through here. Okay, that's right. There we go. So this is so I can go filming. Well, film what I'm shooting while I'm taking pictures. The camera can film my my escapades. Just tighten. Yeah. So basically, this is much better image quality out of the little HX90V than from that action camera. I just haven't been able to give it a try yet. I might have to give that a go today, actually. But yeah, so that's another thing that usually lives in my camera bag at the moment. Little point and shoot camera attached to a chest mounted apparatus. And last but not least, this is an amazing little tripod. Full metal construction, solid legs, like really nice stiff movement, yeah. All deassemblable. You've got bolt pattern in there and stuff. You can get at it. You can take it apart and clean it out, or redo things if it was necessary and stuff like that. The ball head is full metal with metal adjuster. It's nice and smooth in its movements, and then when it locks up really clean and solid. No movement there whatsoever. So putting the Sony on here, like even a bigger body camera than the Sony would be absolutely fine. I would not hesitate in putting anything in the mirrorless range on this tripod. Basically, I reckon it would hold much bigger prey. If necessary, it would just be having a grip on it. It wouldn't be as easy. But something like a Sony A7S III or a Canon R5 or R6 or Canon R, it would work very well with, even with a decent sized wide angle lens like the 18-35 or 16-35, I think it is from Sony. Yeah, those lenses wouldn't pose it a problem whatsoever. This is very solid construction. I think I paid $50 for this Australian. I got it off my Kogan website once again, but I know that the SmallRig website has got them for sale because I just looked them up recently for recommendations to another YouTuber out there. But I find this is absolutely paramount for getting those crispier looking scenes for when you're walking and blogging and you've got the camera pointed at you. And basically it's allows you to hold the camera in a way that you can sort of balance and progressively catch the oscillations of your movement when you're walking. So it takes away the shaky sort of goofy looking, bad sort of shot that you get when you're vlogging and you're sort of trying to hold the camera without any sort of tripod or anything under there. And it's not nearly as big as the GorillaPod or anything. It doesn't take up all that extra room that the GorillaPod does, and you're not holding this bulky large handle. It's got this really great, easy to fit grip, great solid strong construction, solid. It's by SmallRig, and I'm pretty sure you can pick them up for about $35-36 US off the small rig shop at the moment, not including obviously delivery stuff. But yeah, that's about it for my camera bag. Of course, there's the actual bag too itself, which is this. The different slot bits in there. They're all Velcro bits, so you can take them out and move them around and stuff as you want. And got little pockets, these little Velcro pockets in the front here, perfect size for my batteries. I carry a mask in there just in case. Oh, and there's a UV filter, CPL filter for the 16mm Sigma. I do have some filters for things. I'm yet to get a variable ND for the 72mm 18 to 105 or 18 to 35, both 72mm. And I want variable ND for that. But I've been told not to worry with getting a cheap one. It's just not worth it. And the expensive ones are quite expensive, and I just don't have the necessity at the moment to really go out and splurge on just a filter. Alright, so I think that about does it for what's in my camera bag. Love to know what's in your camera bag. Love to know what kind of knickknacks and goodies you find necessary to get the job done. Leave some comments down below. Hit like if you like. If not, you know, go jump. And maybe get subscribed. Alright guys, thank you very much, and cheers for hanging out. See you next time.